All right, guys, let's talk solutions. All right, we've identified the problem at this point. If you've made it to this video, hopefully you've done some digging. We've identified the problem. We've gotten real about the industry. We're getting real about the reality of the situation that we're in, and it's time to talk about solutions. We've identified our perfect customer, how to get them, how to track what we're doing. We talked about the importance of data. Been a lot that we've talked about up to this point, but now we need to talk about solutions, action plans. All right, let me first start saying, but at the bottom of this video, you're going to have two options. One, you can either schedule a strategy session with me personally, or two, you can download, and or both, you can download our free insurance marketing blueprint, which is the culmination of 5 years of working with thousands of insurance agents, marketing, lead generation, sales strategies, a full 3-year business plan, 3-year marketing game plan, and the exact blueprint that I used to generate $1 million in new business production by myself, me personally, not the team, by myself, and how each of your team members can replicate that process. You'll have that option, and you also have the option to talk with myself to really dig in further if you're interested in how it is that we help agents just like you get the results that their agency needs to take things to the next level, or to get out of the rut that they're in, or if they're great, you know, if they're good, making them great, right? Or if they're great and they're just spending a ton of money to be great, we can reduce those expenses. Whatever your goal is, I want to invite you to have a conversation, and let's dive into it and see if we're a good fit. Listen, we can't work with everybody. I've had offers from some of the largest insurance companies on the planet to be a preferred vendor, and I've turned them down because I know my business model. I know that we are not a good fit for everybody. Our business model and our design and the way that we work with our clients isn't meant for the masses. We only work with a select few people in any given market at any given time. You can't do the level of work that we do and bring the level of value and the results that we bring on a massive scale. It just doesn't work. You can't have 50 people in one market all using the same unique strategies and it still get the same results, right? So we're very selective with the agents that we work with. I may decide on the conversation, you may want to work with me, and I may say, I don't think so. I don't think we're a good fit. Because at the end of the day, I want success and results. Your failure is my failure, right? And vice versa. So let's talk about results. Let's talk about how we get there, okay? First and foremost, we have to define, you have to define whether or not you want a solution or you want relief. Those are two very different things. A lot of times people get the two confused. A lot of times people come to me, I'm a solutions provider, and they're looking for relief. I need to sell 2 policies by the first of the month or I'm going to lose my contract. That is a desperate cry for relief. That is not a proactive, offensive, strategic move towards solutions, right? And also, in order to have a solution, you've got to be willing to identify that there's even a problem in the first place. Because if you don't think there's a problem, well, then there's certainly no need for you to be at this point in the video. And there's really no need for you to be looking at a solutions provider. Maybe you just need more of the same of what you're getting. Could be. But you have to identify that there's a problem, and then identify where that problem lies. A lot of times we haven't stopped and taken a look at our business. As a business owner, we're so busy in the picture, we can't see the rest of the frame. We're so busy in our business, we don't have time to work on our business. It's real easy to shift the blame. Oh, it's the team member. Oh, I'm down a guy. Oh, it's that lead provider. Oh, it's the company raising rates. Instead of taking accountability for the fact that you own the business, this is your gig. This is your agency. I don't care whether you're technically, legally the owner, independent contractor, operator, whatever it is. It's your company, your people. The success and failure lies with you. So, do you need a solution? Do you want a long-term fix? Or are you looking for, hey, I need to get through a tough period, but I really don't want to do anything different. I want to keep doing what I'm doing, but I don't want the results that are associated with that. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but there's hundreds of millions of dollars being made off of that mindset. Go find them all day long. Just type in internet insurance leads. You'll find a plethora of them. They'll take your money, no questions asked. It's interesting. I had a couple of conversations this week, asking some questions about agents. So why are you asking me this? Well, because I have to find out if we can do business together. They're so used to just saying, hey, I've got $500, I've got $1,000, you got leads, let's do the exchange. It doesn't work like that. Not with us. Not with us. So do you need relief? Do you need solution? Do you need a combination of both? Are you in a position where right now you have to have some relief because you're going to sink? Like, are you in desperation? There's not a right or wrong answer here. There's only the reality. And if you're in a place of desperation, then you have to be willing to say that. You have to be able to tell somebody, I am in a desperate need because of XYZ. Especially if you came and worked with me, I have to know that you are in a desperate situation so that we can plan accordingly. And it may be a situation that it's so desperate, like the last guy who says, I need 3 policies by the 1st. I said, I'm not your guy. I'll call you in March if you're still around. Right? But you got to be willing to be honest. And there's a lot of times where people need, hey, I need some relief, but I'm also in for building long-term success. I want something sustainable. But I don't have the time to build something sustainable without something immediate. I get that. Totally get that. Listen, I'm a business owner just like you. A lot of us don't have the capital to just float some big long-term scheme that's, in 6 months going to pay off. I get it. I just got to know the reality of, and you have to be real with the reality of what do we need today, and getting real with what can we do today, because there's a lot of solutions that can be done absolutely free in your business. But you got to be willing to look at it. A lot of you watching this video right now have team members that got to go. But you're too scared and too comfortable to take on the extra workload of letting them go and being short-staffed. Because that means you got to work more, or your other team members got to work more. And whatever it is that they are doing, you feel is worth the headache and the hassle of finding somebody to replace them. Why? Because that's a solution. The person in the seat, although not desirable, is good enough. You keep buying internet leads because although they're not desirable, well, they're good enough. It's better than nothing, right? It keeps you busy. And that's the problem. A lot of you are busy just for busy's sake. You'd rather do something, even if it's the wrong something, than do nothing. Well, because doing nothing would mean that you give up. Well, guess what? Making bad business decisions over and over and over again is equally as bad as giving up. You might as well. At least you're not suffering your way through. Worse yet is making bad business decisions over and over and unwilling to see it. To think that you've got it figured out, but everybody else must be wrong. You've got to be willing to open up and see things through a different perspective. When was the last time you had somebody from an outside perspective come into your agency, outside of your agency sales consultants? They got one agenda, and that's corporates. When have you had somebody come in from outside and look in that has no reason to lie to you or make you feel good about it, that can just shoot you straight based on their experience? Probably never, or been a really long time. Maybe some of you invest in some coaches and business consultants, and if so, great. If so, great. But here's the deal. You got to take your data. You got to take what you have and you got to start tracking everything, and you have to have long-term follow-up solutions. You've got to have a good mix of immediate right now results and long-term solutions. And all of that comes through data. It comes through organization of the data. And then it comes with workflows around the data that you have. The biggest thing that you guys don't have is organization of the data that's right at your fingertips. Most of you are sitting on thousands and thousands of people, but you have no idea when to reach them, what devices they use, when they're online, whether they surf at work or at home, what they're looking for, who their provider is. None of that. What our solution does, what our long-term solution is, we've got a marketing department that generates leads in real time. Boom, real leads, verified. We bring you into the process. We work with you to figure out what it is that you need. The targeting, the type of demographic that you want. We put ad campaigns that you see out into the real world, and we get those real-time leads that the other providers are not getting. That's why we can't take on the masses, because there's only so many people at any given time that want to get an insurance quote. I cannot fill real-time leads for hundreds of people in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I can't. Not consistently. The demand, I know, is far outweighed by the actual supply. So when I work with somebody, I want to make sure that it's the right fit, because that supply is so limited. It's like insurance gold. I want to make sure it's going to the right person. They're going to treat it right. They're going to do right by it. I don't think you understand how difficult it really is to find a real-time lead. Unless you've been burned a few times, maybe now, maybe you've all but you thought that they don't exist. They do. Just got to make sure you're working with the right person. But you know, the thing is we take all of our data and we monitor, and that's the solution that we put in place for you guys. We monitor everything. We build you an ecosystem that tracks everything that your entire database does. We have a system that will consistently keep you in front of your entire database all the time. And ultimately, that's what you have to have. Ultimately, you have to stay in front of your database. And listen, there's no right or wrong way to generate a lead. No right or wrong way. Other than deceptive, I think deceptive advertising is wrong. I think, you know, having a boat in the middle of the mall and saying, enter your information here to win this boat, and nothing about insurance, and then somebody calls you because that's been turned into an insurance lead. That, I think, is a wrong way. Outside of deception, though, as long as you're legitimately marketing and advertising, prospecting, there is no right or wrong way. If your way is to go to, you know, a BNI morning event, a BNI lunch event, a chamber evening event, a mixer, and do that every day, and go door knocking at businesses, dropping your card in mailboxes, sticking your card under windshields, like whatever you want to do. At some level, you have to do something, right? You could do it that way. You can cold call. You could pick up a phone book and just start calling. You can Google realtors and start calling them for referrals, mortgage lenders, right? You can go door knocking in your neighborhood, hang flyers. You can take your database and you can pick up the phone and manually call each and every one of them. You could spend 64 cents a mailer or whatever it costs to send a postcard a couple times a month. Adds up pretty quick. You could do that. You can run retargeting ads. You can do that. There's no right or wrong way. But the point is you have to be in front of them consistently. You have to have a plan. You have to have something that is in front of and constantly keeping your name in your prospect's mind, building brand equity long-term. Because every single one of those thousands of people you're sitting on are buying insurance every single year. It's just a matter of who and when. Who are they buying from and when are they doing it? Timing is so critical. With our system, I believe that a digital approach in today's economy is the best way, is the most effective way, is the most efficient way. It's the way that we stay in front of our database. It's how I know every move that you make. It's how I know when you're on my website. It's how my team knows when you're on our website, how we know which page you're on, how we have an entire history of every email you've ever opened, every link you've ever clicked, and we build a profile, how many times we've called you, and we've got a scoring system. And you get points and you lose points based on your actions through this follow-up journey. A follow-up journey, which, by the way, never ends until one of two conditions are met. You buy or you unsubscribe. That's it. Those are the only options. I talked to a guy today. I told him, you know, he was looking at a CRM with all the leads that we had. He says, do I call all these people? Absolutely. I said, I hired somebody that does that all day, every day. You call your leads every day, every day. You don't? You don't? Why? Why would you not? They came to your site. They came looking for information. They filled out a form to request a quote. Why wouldn't you call them until you gave them the quote? That's your job. You paid for it. You hired somebody to generate a lead to do it. Why would you not? What else are you doing? What is your job? If not to sell insurance, what are you supposed to be doing? To have a corner office with a blue sign or a red and white sign on it? Wear your fancy suit and your name tag at a chamber event and say, hi, I sell insurance. It's not your job. Your job is to sell insurance. Protect families. Protect their assets. Give sound financial advice. But before you can do that job, you have to find somebody that you can talk to. You can either make that your job or leave that to somebody who knows that world and make that their job. Again, no right or wrong way. There's just different ways. If you're here, the ways you've been doing it aren't getting you the same results they once did. Or you're visionary and you can see in the future that what you're doing is not sustainable. You've come to the realization that spending $10,000 to $12,000 a month is not sustainable. It's not going to build you a financial future that you can rest on. Because the moment you flip that switch, the whole business comes crashing down because it's all built on a fake foundation. Foundation on inflated demand of quotes that doesn't really exist because you're not actually prospecting. Which, by the way, that same list that transferred to you is being worked by another call center rep and 2 cubes over and being dialed just a week later and getting sent to another agent. Don't think it's not. The industry's grimy, guys. So what I want you to do is really assess where you're at. If you think it warrants a conversation and you'd like to learn more about how we help our clients, how our systems work, the results that our agents have gotten. Listen, I've worked with thousands of insurance agents, thousands. We've generated hundreds of thousands of leads, hundreds of thousands of real-time targeted exclusive leads for our clients. It doesn't take 3 months to happen. It doesn't take 6 months to happen. We get results right now. But we also, as an agency, are firm in our belief of long-term foundational solutions as well. I understand immediate relief, we give you that, but we also believe in laying the foundation. And if you're the agent right now who says, I need a better foundation, my foundation's got some cracks, I don't have a foundation, or hell, I want to rebuild my house, wherever you're at in that, on that spectrum, I want to invite you into a strategy session with me so that we can dive in, figure out if we have some space for you. Again, we're pretty limited in where we can take agents at any given time. There may be a waiting list for your particular state. I don't know. We'd have to look. But I'll be able to let you know that. If you want to check out the blueprint, click the link there, join that, take a look at it. It's up to you to implement it. Good content in there. Years of experience. I wish I would have had a blueprint when I started. Would have been nice. I had to build my own. But you don't have to. You don't have to build your own. Click the link. Let's have a conversation. No pressure. If you want to see the systems, you want to see some testimonials, talk to some of our clients, by all means, do so. Check out our website. Check out the blueprint, whichever direction you want to go, but take action. You've got the information now. It's up to you to do something with it at this point.